WrestleMania 42 Night 1 has now finished, and what I've got to say is that was a very interesting end to a WrestleMania in at least a couple years. But before we get into that, if you guys do go on to enjoy the video and like these wrestling type videos, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and helps me out greatly. So anyway, let's get into the match reviews. Right, first match we're getting into, we have Speed and The Vision versus LA Knight and the Usos. This match went about as well as I expected it to go, with the Usos actually picking up the win here. But what I didn't foresee was Logan Paul actually turning on Speed after they lost. But I did think it was very odd, as Speed has only been in WWE for about 2 weeks now and been with the Vision for obviously about 2 weeks since they've won the tag titles. So they're actually going to build a little bit more onto this storyline leading into Backlash, but I guess Speed's just sort of a one and done type character at the moment. I'm sure that the Usos and the Vision storyline will actually continue into Backlash so that the Usos can actually get their titles back. Overall, I didn't expect Speed to get attacked by Logan Paul. Then Logan Paul obviously trying to set him up to do the viral moment, and it ends up backfiring after LA Knight actually hits Logan Paul and then reverses the roles, and then Speed actually gets to do the viral moment, which was just sick. I mean, if you had a front row seat there, those announce tables, that's a video in itself. That thing is going to be racking up some views. But it was nice to see LA Knight and the Usos actually celebrate with Speed after he hit that viral moment. All things seem to be good, and I guess Danhausen's curse has been lifted. It's obviously not the best tag team match that we've seen in a little bit, but I mean, this overall story was the thing that carried it here. I personally think it was a pretty linear storyline, apart from the obviously Speed being attacked at the end by Logan Paul. But I think the story was the thing that sort of carried this match a little bit. So I'm probably going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. Next match we have is Jacob Fatu defeating Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. This match was one of the lesser ones. Like there was no blood. People don't have to bleed in a match, especially when it's like a street fight and that. But this one, it felt like there needed to be some blood. These people are literally fighting for their lives, especially since Jacob Fatu wants to actually leave the prison stuff in the rear view, is what he says. But yeah, I just feel like there needed to be blood in this match. I don't know why. It just feels like it would have added to the unsanctioned part of the match. I thought it was really cool that they tried to pay homage to the CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre Hell in a Cell match with the toolbox. Obviously, Drew McIntyre being very scared of the toolbox, as you know, he doesn't want 17 staples in his head again. But for the most part, it wasn't a bad match. I just think it needed blood. But I think Jacob Fatu winning here was actually a good way to put him over a little bit more against Drew McIntyre. But I don't think we're quite finished with this actual feud itself. I feel like this is definitely going to go into Backlash, possibly. I really wish that they would pick up on the storyline of who actually attacked Jacob Fatu at the sort of towards the end of last year and put him out of like being able to compete and stuff. I don't know if they were just writing him off TV just for the time being, but they need to go back and actually talk about who attacked him. It would be great. I feel like we're getting the same sort of storyline that we had with Jade and Liv Morgan, where everyone thought that Liv Morgan attacked Jade, but it would actually turn out to be Naomi. Yeah, I just feel like they need to bring that up maybe before Backlash and hopefully say that it was Drew would be good, because at this point, I mean, it seems like just a wasted storyline and that they were just trying to write him off TV for a little bit, basically. But yeah, overall, this match, I will probably rate a 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, it could have been easily an 8.5 or a 9 if there was some blood. Next up, we have the Women's Fatal 4-Way for the tag team titles. Now, obviously, I'm not going to lie, and I said this in my reaction, Paige never got announced that she got re-signed on Twitter. I mean, that's my own fault for looking at Twitter too. Then I feel like the surprise for her return would have been way better. Basically, what happened is the Bella Twins come out as the last entrances. Nikki Bella made an announcement and said that she can actually not compete because she's still not medically cleared. To which she said that she had made a phone call to an old friend, which turned out to be the returning Paige to WWE. Very excited to see her back. I really want to see another feud with her and AJ Lee, with possibly the IC title further down the line maybe, or honestly maybe the Women's Championship. I kind of wouldn't be opposed to it, but having Paige back in WWE adds a little bit more superstars to be in the mix for the world title or even the IC title later on down the track after they're done with their tag team titles. I feel like Nikki Bella might actually turn on Paige later on, as I mean, she was a heel before Brie come back, so they kind of just wrote her off and then she become a face again. So hoping that they kind of go back to that heel thing, and then, you know, she kind of attacks Paige and there's a little storyline there. But yeah, glad that she's back. the actual match itself was pretty linear. I mean, I really wanted Lyra and Bailey to win. I mean, like, they've been a tag team for so long and they haven't even captured the gold yet. So obviously Lyra had it at WrestleMania last year with Becky Lynch, but I mean, Bailey, yeah, hasn't won it in a very long time since Damage Control, from what I remember. But yeah, the people that actually ended up picking up the win was Brie Bella and Paige. But yeah, like I said, good to see her back in WWE. Overall match was probably like maybe a solid 7, to be honest. Yeah, it was a good match. I will say the costume design for the Irresistible Forces was pretty cool. They come out as Demolition, who got inducted into the Hall of Fame last night. Very cool to see. They did their own little sort of spin on it. I kind of wish they wore face paint when they took their masks off. That would have been just a nice little addition to it. Next up, we've got Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee for the Women's IC title match. The Becky Lynch entrance with the Wonder Years was an awesome thing to see. I think there was a little bit of a stuff up with the actual audio at the start of the song. I don't think their mics were switched on for the main cam or even in the arena from the seams of it. So it actually kind of looked like they were lip syncing, but that obviously wasn't the case. They were singing, and it is still a banger of a song. When Becky came out and I seen that Jessica Carr was the referee, I said, not a chance in hell that Becky's winning this because of Jessica Carr. But she managed to defend the odds and actually win, surprisingly. I was very shocked. I love that she played into the untying of the turnbuckle again, and then Jessica Carr not tying it back properly, so it still allowed Becky to just rip it off later on and then still use it. But overall, it was a pretty clean match, to be honest. I like that Jessica Carr didn't actually take no flack from Becky Lynch this time round, as she was sick of it and gave her a bit of a push back, so that was pretty funny to see. Actually, at one point, thought that she was going to manhandle slam Becky, which would have been hilarious, mind you. But overall, it was a quick little clean match, and Becky ended up winning her IC title back. I think from the post-show, AJ Lee's going to take a small break by the seams of it. She said that this isn't goodbye, but she'll be back soon. So maybe we'll see her in the build-up to SummerSlam, possibly, or maybe she'll come back and help Paige if Nikki Bella turns on her. But overall, I give this kind of a 7 as well. But overall, I give this match a 7. Like I said, pretty solid, pretty good. Not too bad at storytelling. And like I said, we'll see AJ Lee in the future. Next up, we've got Gunter versus Seth Rollins. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is probably one of the better singles matches of the night, in my opinion. These guys threw it all at each other. Like, Seth hit a few stomps, a pedigree at some stage there. The only thing they didn't do was a lion salt because I don't think he wanted to bust his leg again. Then we had Gunter doing all his moves, tried to put Seth to sleep, obviously. Didn't really work out that well. And then Seth tried to do the same thing back to Gunter and put him to sleep. That didn't work as well. But overall, I think that was it was a good match, and I didn't expect it not to be a good match. But I personally think it was one of the better matches of the night. It definitely felt like it took the cake. It was better than the main event, in my opinion. If the original plan for WrestleMania happened the way that it was going to happen, I feel like this match, a couple of years down the track after Gunter captured another world title, or Gunter had actually retired a few more people, like Sheamus possibly, Rey Mysterio, even CM Punk, maybe. Just possibly. I feel like their careers probably would have been a little bit more on the line type thing. As for the Bron Breakker return, that was actually pretty cool. I kind of half expected it to happen, as, I mean, Breakker got cleared a couple weeks ago. That whole shot of him running down full speed at the ramp to get a spear on Seth was really, really cool. Maybe aimed that a little bit better, but overall, that was still a decent spear. I kind of wish he had done it one more time, to be honest, but I think he was pretty gassed. It was also good to see Paul Heyman at the top of the ramp when Bron Breakker come back up, and they sort of did the whole raise the hand thing. I think this feud might actually lead into Backlash and then maybe into the back end of SummerSlam, possibly. I kind of love to still see Gunter in the mix a little bit, but I think that they're going to probably try and lean him more towards Brock Lesnar's retirement, possibly towards SummerSlam, which is where Brock actually debuted. Yeah, overall, super solid match. I'm going to give this like a 9. This was a very good, solid 9. A very grueling match, and I think, honestly, match of night 1, to be honest. Tomorrow, I feel like, is going to be a different story. There's going to be so many different matches that we're going to have that are going to be great. But yeah, solid 9 from me for this match. Then next up, we've got Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer for the women's world title. Now, when I say this match was short. Like, it wouldn't have even gone, 10 minutes or something like that? Pretty linear match, like, again, like, none of these matches seem to have, like, a crazy turn to them. Judgment Day come out, distracted Stephanie. Stephanie beat them up a little bit, and then as she's going in to beat up Liv obviously capitalizes on this, hits her with Oblivion, hits her with a code breaker. Stephanie obviously kicks out, and then Liv's able to hit another Oblivion on her and then pick up the win. Yeah, like I said, very linear match, very quick. It kind of almost felt like a crown jewel match between Tiffany and Stephanie Vaquer. It could have been a little bit longer, in my opinion. I was honestly expecting like a 30-minute match, but like I said, they just come out with like 10 minutes, and I was like, bruh, what was that? Like, that just wasn't it, Chief. But yeah, I was actually, like I said, expecting a way longer match, but it is what it is. Liv's new theme song is her Trouble song, and I kind of don't like it. The choreography and stuff, like at the start, was cool, but the song's honestly cringe. It's kind of like Kit Wilson's song, but terrible. I don't know. I like Kit Wilson's song. Kit Wilson's song's a banger, bro. But that song, that Trouble song, it ain't it. It ain't it. Cool, Liv got to live out like her singer sort of dream with that, but like, can we just go back to the other song? Like, I enjoyed that. It was pretty, yeah. So yeah, for this match actually being way too short, I'm kind of just going to give it like a 7 as well. Like, it was cool. They did all the moves that they generally do, but it was just way too short. And I feel like it could have possibly went on longer, or maybe been a different type of championship match, like maybe like a street fight or even like a tables match. I don't know. That would have been a longer match, would have been cool. Even a steel cage match probably would have been sick to see. But I mean, it was just too short, is what it is. Not going to complain about it. It's a 7. Obviously, coming off that women's world title match, John Cena come out to announce that the attendance record was about 50,416 people. This is probably one of the lower numbers. It's very close to last year's WrestleMania Night 1. I think it's like a couple hundred off or something like that. So it's similar ballpark in numbers, but people are saying it's like the worst of all time. I'm definitely hoping for more people tomorrow, as I mean, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, I feel like it's going to bring more people to the party. But yeah, the overall attendance, I mean, it's close to what last year's was. I don't know why people are saying it's the worst one yet. It's only like a couple hundred people. Like, it's really not that much. It'd be different if it was a couple thousand people, but a couple hundred people's not that different. But after all that, there's a bit of pyro that goes off, and then Bianca Belair actually comes out and makes her big announcement to the WWE Universe that she's been away for a while, and people have been speculating what's actually been going on. And I mean, a lot of people kind of guessed it, that she's pregnant. And her and Montez Ford are actually going to be having a baby, which is sick. I think the internet has kind of lost their mind over that. It's actually good to see. And yeah, congratulations to them both. Then we've got the main event of WrestleMania Night 1, which is Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton with Pat McAfee for the undisputed title. The ending to this was just like, bruh. The match itself was good. It actually had more blood than the unsanctioned match, which is crazy. There seemed to be a lot of stuff going into this saying that Randy had a sore back at the start of the week. Maybe possibly he was kind of tying that in with the actual match, because at the start I actually thought that he had hurt his back, so they were kind of going a little bit easy on him. And I said, if Randy Orton loses this match, it's because of his back, and that's why Cody retained. Overall, the match didn't seem to be too bad. It was very, very slow paced compared to what we generally would see from Randy Orton. Starting off the match, Pat McAfee and Randy Orton attacked Cody straight off the rip before the bell even rung, so they were able to put him through, they were able to hit him with a couple of chairs and stuff like that, kind of to weaken him before the match actually got underway. Before Pat could actually do anything, Cody Rhodes actually countered Pat McAfee and then put him on the table, and Jelly Roll just appeared out of nowhere. Showed up and put Pat McAfee through the table and sent him to the back. It was actually pretty funny to see, and then we got a one-on-one with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Like I said, the match itself, cool. Randy got busted open. I think Cody possibly got busted open at the end. There were some videos and stuff circulating from WWE after the match of Cody's eye being fully nearly swollen shut, and it was pretty cool to see. I don't know what he would have done it on, possibly from the belt hit at the end, but I'm not 100% sure. Towards the end of the match, Cody actually poked Randy Orton. Randy Orton ended up RKOing Charles Robinson. I swear to God, this guy cannot not get hit in a match. Like, we need to put like a protection in for him. If he gets hurt, like, that person's automatically disqualified. Like, bro, this guy cannot keep getting beaten up. It's just wild. He's pretty much a champ for like taking all these beatings, still doing his job, which is funny. Obviously, with Charles Robinson knocked out, Randy Orton was able to hit an RKO on Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes was actually able to hit an RKO on Randy Orton. Randy Orton also hit a crossroads on Cody, so it was pretty interesting. It's kind of like a little nod to, the student-teacher moment. But obviously, Cody down on the ground, Charles Robinson down on the ground. We obviously need to call out the special referee, which turned out to be Pat McAfee in a neck brace. And then what proceeded to be one of the slowest counts I think I've ever seen from a special guest referee that's supposed to be fresh. It was like when you do that mission in SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 and Vince McMahon's the special guest referee and he counts really, really slowly. That's literally kind of what the count was like. I kind of honestly thought Randy had won it there and Pat McAfee just would have done a really quick 3 count. Yeah, he allowed way too much time and Cody ended up kicking out. Randy obviously not happy about this. He RKO'd Pat McAfee and that cost Randy Orton the title match, which was weird. So Cody ended up retaining, and then Pat McAfee's not coming back to wrestling because he said that if Randy loses on the weekend, then he's not coming back. That whole storyline was for nothing. He got 25% off tickets for night 1 for everyone, and then no one's going to remember exactly what he did, but that would probably be one of the worst build-up to a WrestleMania ever. And before the show could end, Cody Rhodes holds his title up in the air, being all happy. Then 09 Orton gets up, takes the belt out of his hand, hits him over the head with it, which is what I think causes the swelling on his eye, and then proceeds to give us 09 Orton and punt kick Cody Rhodes. They've teased it for so long, and my reaction when he did it, man, oh my God, it was like I bursted. It was crazy. I don't know. It's still one of the weirdest endings, in my opinion. Like, I feel more confused about that ending than when Roman Reigns got put back over Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 39. Like, that's how confusing it was. But, I mean, I don't know if they're trying to make us confused because this is going to add more to the story, but Randy hasn't got much longer left, in my opinion. He needs to win his 15th title, so then he can win his 16th, 17th, and 18th, but hey, I'm happy if he wins his 15th, but I feel like it was a very wasted opportunity. I don't know what type of storyline they're going for. Like I said, this has left me completely confused. I would assume this is going to maybe go into Backlash, but I don't know how it builds up because Randy Orton's now turned on Pat McAfee. So if they were going to have Cody Rhodes, Jelly Roll versus Pat McAfee and Randy Orton at Backlash, it's not going to happen. Like, it's just confused me now. So what's going to happen now? This makes no sense. So I guess we'll just have to see on Monday night if something happens. If not, we'll have to wait till SmackDown. But I feel like something might happen on Raw. But if not, we're going to have to wait till SmackDown. So I don't know. The next week's going to be absolutely wild for storylines. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to like, subscribe. I'm going to be uploading a little bit more, especially over these next 2 nights and for Raw. So if you guys do enjoy wrestling content, be sure to like, subscribe. It helps me out greatly. Make sure you hit the bell, and you can keep all up to date with the next videos that I post. But yeah, tell me what you think in the comments below. What was your favorite part of night 1, or what did you hate about night 1? Possibly all of it. Let me know in the comments below, and see you guys tomorrow for a review of night 2.